Hey guys, it's Elena and I'm coming to you today with a story time video. This is only my second ever story time video. I will link the previous one somewhere up here if you're interested in watching it. Actually my favorite in the whole wide world. It's the most amazing story in the world. Basically the highlight of my life. Let's start in the beginning. So when I was in high school, middle school, high school, I was obsessed. Not was. I'm not going to speak about this as if it was a past tense thing. No, I am obsessed with the Backstreet Boys. I am so in love with them. I think that they're the best. I think that like all their music is amazing. I go see them anytime that they tour, sometimes in multiple cities, multiple ways. Like one time I drove like 8 hours to Virginia to watch them. BSB for life. When I was in middle school, high school, they were doing a concert. It was their Black and Blue concert for their album Black and Blue, but it was that tour that they did. And it was really the last kind of big arena tour that they did before they kind of dwindled down and everybody did their solo stuff. I had gotten really good tickets because I slept outside of a like music store. This was my second time sleeping out on the street for Backstreet Boy tickets. Then we found out that a local radio station was actually going to have the Backstreet Boys over prior to the concert. We decided that we were going to cut class and take the train all the way down to where the radio station was, which was like an hour train ride. Like we were just like, we're cutting class, like that's what we're gonna do. Like I put on my favorite Backstreet Boy shirt, a little black cap sleeve Backstreet Boy shirt, and like it was like a baseball tee but it was cap sleeve. So cute. I got my jeans on, my little black booties. I totally remember the look I was wearing. Anyways, so we went there. My friend Melissa had a poster. She was also wearing a Backstreet Boy shirt. And we get to the radio station and we see a bunch of people standing outside the radio station, but we're like, okay, we're just gonna like pretend like we own this place. And we walk up to the door of the radio station like we're gonna walk right in. The security guard says, no, who are you here to see? And we're like, we're here to see the Backstreet Boys. Excuse us. And she's like, no, get that. Is basically what she told us, like nicely, but like that's what she told us. So like all defeated and like sad, like we had just been on a train for like an hour and we were so excited about meeting them and we thought we were going to be able to finagle our way into the like meeting them, but of course it did not happen because the security guard was like, get out. We look at the crowd of people like around us going like, this fucking blows, like we deserve to meet the BSB for life. We don't know what to do. And so then I was like, why don't we go to the back, because when they come in like their van or their bus or their limo, whatever they come in, they're gonna come in through the back. They're not gonna walk in through the front doors, like they're too cool for that. And so we were like, okay, let's go to the back. So we like walk around the block to like the back of the building. As we're walking back there, because my friend genius, well, she saw a lady walking into the building and she was like, that looks like the DJ. And I was like, it's not the DJ. Like, I didn't know what the DJ looked like. And she was like, I'm pretty sure that's the DJ. I think that that's the DJ that's going to be interviewing them. Like, oh my god, I think that's her. And so immediately, like without even like a slow step, but like my friend like runs to the DJ and is like, oh my god, we love you so much, we're here to see the Backstreet Boys, we love them so much, you're such a great DJ, I'm so excited for you to interview them. Basically kisses her ass hardcore. And the DJ is so friendly and nice and obviously appreciating the fact that we're kissing her ass. She goes, oh my god, you guys are so cute, I'm gonna let you come up and meet them. And we were like, right, like that was like our emotion, right? And so we're so excited about that moment, but then she takes our names and then she like disappears. We're waiting and we're waiting and we're waiting and we're like, what the hell? Like where are the Backstreet Boys? Two, like where is like, when are they gonna line us up to meet them? Like at this point, like we think that we're entitled to it because she already said we were gonna meet them. We're sitting there amongst the crowd going like, this is bullshit. And then the Backstreet Boys come and we're like, oh my god, like I'm here, like freaking out. Like girls are like trying, like once, like they wave and they kind of like shuffle on, they get into the building as quickly as possible without like really acknowledging everybody because there was a lot of people there, obviously. And so they go in, you know, like they wave and then they like hustle into the radio station. And we were like, that's it? That's all we get? That's bullshit. Like I don't want to like marry you, basically. Now the Backstreet Boys, we know our Backstreet Boys are in the building. They are in the building. Nobody's coming to like let us in. Nobody's talking to us. Like nobody's telling us anything. And all the girls that are there are trying to like give notes and gifts and phone numbers to the Backstreet Boys. Like to the driver of the back, like the guy who drove they were like in a van, like a big white van. And so like they're trying to like slip everything to the driver, which is actually pretty smart because like that's gonna be the closest way for you to get to these guys. So anyways, so while all of this commotion is happening, it's been like 10 minutes since the Backstreet Boys entered the building and we're thinking we're never gonna get to meet them even though this DJ told us we're gonna get to meet them. I know she's a liar and we were all upset. And I noticed like The door that the Backstreet Boys went through in the back. At this point, there's nobody from the building in the back now. It is just the driver, which all the girls are like kind of distracted by, and us. And I noticed that the door that the Backstreet Boys went through was not properly closed. Well, it had not latched. So it was very possible to just push the door open and walk through the same set of stairs that BSB. I thought, if we could just push open that door and get in, nobody would question a group of teenage girls, not a group, a pair of teenage girls with signs and shirts and braces and just what you would imagine a teenage girl to look like. Nobody would question us running up stairs to get to, we didn't even know what floor the radio station was on. It was like a big building, but we were like, if the Backstreet Boys can do it, then we can do it. Like literally, like I like look at my friend Melissa, and I'm like, what's the door open? Like, we should just walk in, build up all the confidence in the world. Like we cut class for this. Like we have to do this. Like we pumped ourselves up, and we were like, oh, walking in that door. We're about to push it open when all of a sudden we hear this guy going, Elena? We've been caught. They see us breaking and entering. They already know our name because of like some FBI file, like face scan thing. We're gonna go to jail. My parents are gonna know I cut class. I'm never gonna be allowed to go to a Backstreet Boy concert again. This is what all the thoughts that were going through my mind. Really defeated. I like turn over and I see this guy, and he was like this tall, very handsome white guy, like very good looking. And I see him and I'm like, this is the guy that's gonna arrest me? Like he's like so cute, you know? He's like, you know. If BSB wasn't here, he'd be like really cute, but BSB is here, so he's not that cute. Anyways, he says our names, we turn over, and he's like, you guys are the ones that talked to the DJ? And we were like, yes, yes. So immediately, this huge sigh of relief comes over us because we realize we're not being arrested. Yes, that's us, we're here, we're like not trying to break and enter, like we're good people, like let us in. But he's like, okay, come with me. And so like we walk all the way around the back of the building to the front doors where the security guard had rejected us so badly before. And he like walks us up the stairs, opens the door, and then the security guard sees us, and he was like, she like stops this guy, and he's like, no, they're here with me, they're gonna get to meet them. And then all of a sudden the security guard that rejected us so badly is like, oh my god, I'm so happy with you guys, you guys were so cute, blah, blah, blah. After she rejected us. Whatever, I'm not like whatever. Anyways, so we get into the elevator, we're like freaking out because we're like, is this really happening? Like we're in the elevator, we're like 2 feet away from the Backstreet Boys, oh my god, this is really happening. Like we're in this elevator, there's like other people in the elevator, and they're like, oh, what are you guys here for? And we're like, we're going to the Backstreet Boys. And like they're like, okay, creepers, like relax. We were like, no, no. And so when we're in the elevator, the guy, the cute guy that like is like escorting us up, tells us, don't say anything when you get into the booth area because it's recording live, you don't want to make a bunch of noise, you want to be quiet. And we were like, okay, like, okay. And so I get off the elevator, we go to the left, down a hallway, there's a bunch of cubicles to our right. Like I remember everything, there was like weird kind of bluish gray carpeting, the walls of the cubicles were all gray. It was like white walls, it was a very corporate environment, and up until this point in my life I had never experienced anything like that, but it seemed miserable. So we walk through everything, get to like the recording booth, like where they actually record it, and there's like a room outside of the recording booth, and then there's where the DJ is recording. Like it's like one room followed by another. Quarantine room before you get in. And it's all windows when you're in the quarantine room. So when you get in there, you see the Backstreet Boys. Like you see them. They are like right in your face. Oh my fucking god. Nick Carter was 2 feet away from me. Get ourselves like all situated, they let us in, like we're still being super silent, and the DJ's like, you're not saying anything. Like when we walk in there, we're like, they told us we're not allowed to say anything. And at that point we realized that we're allowed to say something, and we start like freaking the fuck out. The only things that can come out of my mouth, I don't know how my friend was able to like figure out her life and like say words that like came out of her mouth like so serious, like the words came out of her mouth like in a way that people understood. Like even right now, I can't even like talk because I'm so excited. And I'm like, what the fuck out? They're like, oh, do you guys want to take a picture? And at this point, I still have not been able to muster a single word out of my like dry, I felt like I had just eaten like an entire bag of saltine crackers. Like I could not get my tongue, like my mouth was not producing saliva. Like I could not figure out my life. Just staring at like Nick Carter like this. It was probably really embarrassing had I been watching myself do that. Like I would have been mortified at myself. But I was living it, so you know. We get like into a big group shot and they're like, let us do individual shots. Like we're like freaking the fuck out. smile. And like when it comes my turn to sing Nick Carter, he says, nice shirt, because I'm wearing the BSB baseball team. He said, nice shirt to me. He puts his arm around me, and it like back then in high school, I was like, you know, itsy bitsy teeny weeny yellow hookah dot bikini. And so like the shirt was like a little just above the waist of my pants, my jeans. And so when I moved, it would show a little bit of skin, not a ton of skin, just a little bit of skin. He put his arm around me, so I kind of like leaned in, and he put his hand right here, my left side. He put it on my left side. I like, in that picture I was like smiling so hard. I managed to like smile or pose. I did something for that picture where I don't look, I mean I look a little bit like a deer in headlights, but I don't look like as, I don't want to say I was traumatized, but I was like pretty traumatized. But I look like pretty put together in that picture. They snapped the picture, and then they like escort us out of the room because BSB is leaving, BSB for life, and they're leaving. And as they're leaving, I like all of a sudden I'm like, I have just spent like 10 minutes with the Backstreet Boys and I did not say one good word. And so there I am in front of the Backstreet Boys, and Nick Carter's like, it's really nice to meet you, because he was like so beautiful and handsome and like perfect. And then I say to him, will you go to my prom with me? Those words came out of my mouth. I don't know what I was thinking. I don't even know where that came from. That wasn't my plan. I didn't have a plan. I couldn't even say any words the whole time. And meanwhile, 2 seconds and like I spent all this time in front of them, and like 2 seconds before they leave, I'm like, go to my prom with me. And Nick, like, he's so nice, and he looks at me and he's like, we'll see. Which means he didn't say no. Basically, Nick Carter would have gone to prom with me. Probably. Okay, you think that's where the story ends, right? Like, oh my god, you just embarrassed yourself asking a Backstreet Boy to the prom. Obviously, you did not know me in high school, where I was the super coolest kid in the entire school. What we did is we took the train back to our school. There was a 24-hour, not even a 24-hour, 1 hour photo, because this is before digital photos, people. So this is back in the cave years. I dropped the film off from us meeting the Backstreet Boys. We go back to school, like acting like nothing just happened, because we just cut class for like 5 hours. They also gave us like front row seats. So we also were front row for a BSB Black and Blue tour. FYI, front row. This one. At my school, I was actually known as the girl that was like obsessed with the Backstreet Boys. There was like a handful of us, and we had a pretty good relationship, the handful of us, because like, you know, BSB for life. Duh. I was friends with like basically everybody at my school that was a BSB fan, and there wasn't a, like, not a lot of people were willing to admit it, you know, because like boy bands like weren't like super cool, like, you know, whatever. Talk about the concert, we would talk about the new singles, we would talk about voting on TRL 300,000 times, and so people in my high school, like, they would make fun of me, like not in like a mean way, maybe a little bit mean, but they would like be like, oh yeah, you're never gonna, like, you know, like, you're never gonna meet the Backstreet Boys. They're like, oh yeah, Nick Carter's gonna, you know, like that kind of stuff. And I would always be like, Nick Carter's my man, like, do not even get me started, it will be SB for life. Like, I was like an advocate for them, and I should have probably been president of their fan club, like, because they're the best. Till this day, they are the best. Like, since we were such huge fans of the Backstreet, and everybody at our school knew them, and they had given me such a hard time about it, I was like, you know what? Forget these people. So after the concert, I came home. I had my printed out picture of me and Nick Carter. I scanned the picture. I created a little like 8x11 on like a sheet of paper of the picture. I wrote like the date that we met. I like we're gonna be married. Like, I did like a whole flyer. Like, it was basically a wedding announcement. But I made it at home on my computer with some like, I like even like put markers on it. Like, I like, I was not messing around. And I printed about 200 copies in color of this flyer that I made. And the next day after the Backstreet Boys concert, I distributed it to every fucking hater that I had in that damn high school. Oh really? I'm never gonna get to meet the Backstreet Boys, huh? That was basically the best day of my life. Best day of my life. And it goes to show, if you really put your mind to something, 10 years later, about, my friend Natalie and I took a road trip down to Virginia Beach, where we ended up getting stuck in horrible traffic, and we thought we were gonna have enough time to like check into our hotel and like get dressed, get all dolled up, and we didn't, because we got stuck in some of the worst traffic. We got there just in time. We changed in the car, did our makeup in the car, all to meet the Backstreet Boys. And we got to it's the Virginia Beach. It's like that outdoor like amphitheater. It was pouring down rain, like crazy rain for a little bit. But then again, I got to meet the Backstreet Boys for a second time, and AJ McLean told me I had really cute shoes on. Story about how I met the Backstreet Boys. Hopefully you found it enjoying, and tell me if you did, and I'll do more story time videos where I share different details and episodes of the life that is Elena. But yeah, thanks so much for watching, guys, and if you like this kind of content, make sure to subscribe and follow me on Instagram and Snapchat. I will put all that information somewhere here. Thanks so much for watching, guys. Bye!